Recording in
Good morning, Martin.
progress.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can't. I think you're
Hello?
muted.
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, and we're recording, and you'll send me a copy of this, right?
No, if you want to record it, you go ahead and hit record.
Okay, there's a button here separately.
If you go up to the top, I think there's an ellipsis, and if you click on that, or maybe it's at the bottom of the screen actually, there'll be an ellipsis. Take a look at that, and it should just have a record.
What's ellipsis?
Yeah, the three dots.
Oh, never heard that before. Okay, I see that it has the option. And is it supposed to turn red?
I
Request
don't know,
host
Martin.
to
I don't
record the
normally
cloud.
record, so
Pardon?
I don't normally record, so
Okay, so it seems you have to give me permission.
I don't know how to give you permission either, sir. What is it saying with the permissions?
It's saying request host to record to the cloud.
Yeah, well, I don't have access to the cloud, so I can't give you, I don't know how that would work.
Okay, will you then email me a copy of the recording?
I don't intend to record it. I'm recording right now, but I don't intend to record and provide this to anybody. This is only being recorded on my end because you chose to include the press in your emails. So I'm just making sure that we have a clear copy here. But as a practice, no, I don't record these. So if you're not able to record, I'm happy to shut my recording off as well.
Oh no, I don't want to change my mind about a recording. I just want to be able to have a copy.
Well, there are you can do information requests to the BCGEU, okay? And what I'll do is I'll just leave the recording on, and then you can do an information request, and it can go through whoever that is in our headquarters who looks after that stuff.
All right then. And Jeff, hi, my name's Martin, and you are Jeff, and you told me today that you are not a college staff, you're specifically a BCGEU staff.
That's correct, yeah. I've never worked for the college.
I'm not speaking loudly because I'm at the library, and I would have had to pay $15 to have a private room, so.
Yeah, I can hear you well. That's why I put headphones on, so I can hear you well.
Okay, and I'm assuming that you want to lead the conversation, or do you want me to lead the conversation?
What I want to know is what I had offered to assist you with is because you were terminated during the probationary period. I offered to assist you with the grievance process if you so wanted to file a grievance. You indicated that I was making an assumption that that's what you wanted to grieve. So why don't we start with what is it that you want to grieve regarding your employment at the college?
There are many, many things. And of course, I would have preferred to start at the beginning, which is what I was preparing for today. But of course, starting at the beginning won't get us to everything in 1 hour. So I believe that our last emails got us to the point where we're just going to focus for now on the salary scale and the pay stubs, right? Which I sent you yesterday. Now, this is not the limit of my grievances, but to make it realistic for an hour, I suggested this.
Okay, so hold on. So the one you want to take a look at, you want to grieve your placement on the salary scale?
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you want to grieve?
Well, today we're covering just one portion, the salary scale and the pay
Martin, I've
stubs.
invited you to a meeting. What else would you like? If you want to make an argument, if there's no point in us meeting, I'm trying to assist you. I've been nothing but respectful to you, and I want the same back. What else would you like to grieve?
So, sir, your opinion of how you were with me is not something I agree with. So we don't have to go there. If we're making a recording, we'll let somebody else decide. But can we start now about salary scale and pay stubs? Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Do you want to lead the conversation or I lead the conversation?
Well, you lead it. I don't know what your issue is.
Okay. First, can I ask you, do you agree to have our conversation be reality based?
I have no idea what you mean.
That means it's not fictional, it's nonfiction. We're going to deal with facts, and I'm going to present you facts, and if there's anything you want me to send you later, I'll send you later. Do we agree with that?
That sounds good to me, Martin.
Okay, and the other thing is that probably we will both be triggered. Now, of course, I was triggered first, and I was triggered, 7 months ago, let's say, or even before that, if you calculate all interactions with the college. But I'm going to tone it down and stick to this topic. But of course, feelings come up. This is a conflict type grievance scenario, right? We're good with that? We're going to deal with that?
If there ends up being conflict and I find that I'm being insulted, or I find that you're speaking to me in an inappropriate way, I will end the meeting. That's how I'll deal with this.
Okay. And my promise to you is to treat you the same way that I expect you to treat me. Okay. So starting, well, how about, did you get a chance to review the pay stubs? I sent you 4.
I've looked at them, but there's nothing for me to review if you don't tell me what the issue is. I mean, you haven't told me what I'm looking for. I see a pay stub.
Yeah, so in the pay stub, there's 4 of them. There's a lot of inconsistencies, and that's some of the information that we can discuss for this grievance.
Which one do you want to highlight one for me, and I'll bring it up? Because I have your email from yesterday up. I figured we'd be looking at those attachments, so I just have them up here.
Yeah, so thank you. So there is one for May 31st. That was the first payment. And then June 14th, June 28th, and July 12th.
And which one do you want to look at? I've got all 4 here as attachments.
Well, if you haven't noticed anything yet, I'll bring up the things one at a time. Did you notice that in 4 pay stubs, I've received 3 different salary scales? Did you notice this? One is actually not mentioned, but I calculated at around where it would be. Now, the reason that I'd like you to explain this is when I received from Maggie in HR at the Terrace Coast Mountain College, location, and she works head of HR, but possibly also head of pay. I'm not sure.
She manages payroll, yeah.
Yeah. So that means it could be just that person. Because I did hear back from somebody else who's head of payroll, but probably under Maggie. Now, I've asked questions many times, and I can prove this, and I didn't get answers. But when she sent me on May 31st, the day of my first paycheck, is her decision about pay scale, is it does say BCGEU agrees to this. I don't know if you've read one of these letters before. I can read.
Yeah, do you want me to explain that piece to you, just so you have a clear understanding about the BCGEU agreeing?
Yeah, and how they are vouching for Maggie there. Yeah.
Yeah, so, the BCGEU isn't necessarily vouching for Maggie, but what is being said there is this is the process that's agreed to through the collective agreement signed with the college and with the BCGEU. So there's a process that's agreed to through bargaining about how salary scale will be applied.
And I've asked for the specifics of that to both the HR department and to Seth Downs, the union steward. And nobody's providing me that.
Sorry for interrupting, but did the second copy of collective agreement, did that get you the link I sent? Did that one work?
Did you send me another one from the one that didn't work?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I can look at it, but if you know of a specific area that relates to this topic, let's read that, because when I read it on a previous version, it's extremely short and it doesn't provide the details of how these decisions are made. So it's hard for me to contest it without the details. Is it at the whim of somebody? Is that what the collective agreement says? Whatever Maggie feels like? Or there's a specific set of parameters to judge this?
I will give you, it's a little confusing when you first go through it. I won't argue that. But if you look at article, do you have pen and paper to make notes of this? Because if you don't have the collective agreement in front of you, you'll probably want to research it after.
Go ahead.
So under article 25.14, increments for instructional staff. As you go to, it's blocked off into a number of sections. So A, B, C. And then under C, so 25.142C specifically reflects initial placement on scale.
Did you say 2C?
Yep, 25.14.
And that sounds like what I looked up before. And when I looked it up before, and you'll read it now, I guess, is it says very little. But go ahead and read that part.
Well, no, I'm not going to sit here and read the collective agreement to you. I provided it to you. I'm telling you where it is.
I'm not asking you to read the collective agreement. We're
Oh, that's what I heard, sir.
No, so are you saying how long do you think it'll take to read 2514 2C?
I don't understand your question. What do you mean?
Do you believe we will run out of time if you read me 25.14
Don't worry
2C?
about the time too much unless you have a full stop at the end. I've got time at the end if we need to extend it.
Okay, so can you read that, or do you want me to read it by opening it and you'll give me a minute to go find it?
Yeah, you go find it. I'm not going to read to you today.
Okay. So I'm gonna go find it, and is it? And this is the one that expires in 2022, right? It's the same one that you sent me. Can you tell me the date of when you sent it to me, and the one that
I'll
works?
look it up in a sec, but I just want to, I not only sent you the collective agreement, I sent you what is also called a ratification document, because we did bargain the new agreement, but it's sitting with the employer reviewing the changes before it actually hits print. So that ratification document does have a change in the specific section of the collective agreement. So you might want to go to the ratification document.
Okay, so tell me where it is. I'm looking at my inbox now. Which email are you talking about?
Hold on just a second here, Martin, and I will see how quick I can find it.
Yeah, because when I said that I opened a link that didn't work, you said that you had meant, because you noticed that, you had meant to send me a new one, but like I don't know where it is, the one that you had meant or the one after I told you I couldn't open it.
Yeah, and I sent it to you on July 12th. I can quickly resend it right now if that's the easiest.
Oh, okay, go for it. Yes, it would be easy, yes. I'll do the reading. I won't charge you for it.
Well, and like I said in my email, my friend, nobody's going to pay a claim to you from the BCGEU for this.
Yeah, so the way you're talking to me now is not a union steward. It's a lawyer of BCGEU type response.
No, I'm not a lawyer.
Which is okay. Which is okay because the BCGEU is also in trouble, right?
I don't believe so. I mean, but you're entitled to your opinion, sir.
Well, data matters. So let me know when you send it. In the meantime,
it's been sent.
Okay. Okay. Okay, there's yeah, okay, so which one did you want me to read? The one that says ratification?
Pull up the ratification document. I'll pull it up here too to make sure it's actually working. I did double check it again last time. And it happened with a couple of people and a couple of different agreements last week.
So this is one that was just ratified?
Yeah, we did the bargaining at the conclusion of the last collective agreement. We bargained for the next one, right? So this was done. It just hasn't, and it's all ratified. It just isn't in print yet.
Okay, so can you tell me when this was concluded, this ratification?
Not off the top of my head, if it's not included in the document. At the conclusion of bargaining.
Is very recent?
2023.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I was given access until now or recently from you for anything that goes past 2022. Now, which section? I got this up right now under a page document. Which part do you want me to? Because this is what Maggie would have also have had access to since 2023.
She sure would have. Go down to Article 25.14. They're all listed in here by article.
You know, when we open the regular agreement, would it be the same numbers usually, 25.14?
Generally, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
sometimes they do change, though. Just to be fully clear, sometimes they'll change because stuff gets moved around through the bargaining process. But on here, 25.14 is the language.
Yeah, so here, I don't know if I'm reading this right, but there's a dental plan, which is 23.3, and then there's 25.4 vehicle allowance. So is it,
And then there's 25.5, and then it goes down. They're numerical, right? So then 25.14 comes after that.
oh, because it's not the one that counts, it's the
No, it's
14 that
yeah,
counts.
it's the
Ah,
full number that counts there.
oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, okay. Thanks for your patience for letting me understand
yeah,
this.
it's not an issue, man.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's about a page worth of this. Okay. Instructors shall progress one increment for each year of seniority through. Okay, so that's after, right? Cross union appointments. Okay. Okay? So
That's a
two
question I did
C.
have for you on this subject, because you mentioned, well, actually, you worked at BIU, right? And although they're a BCGEU cert, they're not covered under a common agreement here. So, never mind. Sorry, thinking out loud, sir. I do that a lot.
Well, thanks for letting me know that you do have some awareness of what I've provided already as information. So 224 2C. Okay, it's pretty short, that part. Although there's a 1 after that. Um, Initial placement on scale. See Article 12.3 of the Common Agreement. Oh, common is when it's like multiple colleges are under, let's say, the same thing, right?
That's right. There are a number of colleges, and this collective agreement, or the language that we're looking at here, is the local piece. So it only applies to Coast Mountain, and the common applies to a number of agreements. I did look up that language under 12.3 this morning, and it is.
Yeah, I'll just stop you for a second because this is actually what I had read before, I think. Are the parts that are yellow the parts that are changed on this
Yes.
document? Okay, so
Yeah,
that means
you'll
this is
see
the
some
same
stuff
as the one
stricken
I.
out.
Hmm?
You'll see some stuff that has lines through it. So that's language that's been removed from the current collective agreement. And then you'll see stuff that's bolded, underlined, and in yellow. And that's new language to the collective agreement.
Okay, so here, what I read so far under 2C is the same that I read before on the one that expires in 2022. But then it
Yeah,
also
nominal
provides.
change.
Pardon?
There's only a nominal change further down.
Okay, so the one, yeah, on the same page, right? In exceptional circumstances, this maximum may be waived with the union's agreement, and such agreement will not unreasonably be withheld. In exceptional. Okay, well, that it's hard to read that without reading everything that leads to it. But here's one question I have for you: is because on my form, on my letter from her, which I think the BCGO receives a copy of, is she only put my bachelor's. Now, I have 3 post-secondary degrees, which I had informed her of prior. So does she put all 3, or does she put 1, and why did she not put the higher level one?
Just a sec. I'm just making a note. What are your 3 degrees?
I don't know if you saw my resume. Did you get a chance? Because I have 3 different ones.
No, I don't have.
Okay,
I've
there's
seen all the
a.
stuff that I've seen the stuff that you've sent me. Have I committed it to memory? Not a chance.
Okay, so I have a DEC, Diplôme d'études collégiales. I have a bachelor's, and then I have a master's level diploma, graduate diploma, which of course you need to have a bachelor's to be even, approved to be in a master's program, right?
So I need you to go back to the first one. And pardon my ignorance of French. I'm just not fluent in French. I'm as
Diplôme
unfluent in French as
d'études
you.
collégiales is a college degree of 2 years on average, and maybe it's 3 now over the years. It depends, but that requires the high school diploma and then the grades to be approved. Now, the bachelor's doesn't always require a college degree before, but it helped because when I did my bachelor's, they credited me 1 year of university credits for the 2-year college degree.
Right. So that would be more of a college diploma rather than a degree, right? I don't know
Post-secondary
that
degree
college.
is the term I use because it's after high school. So, and
I need some clarity here, Martin.
go
So
ahead.
I need to. This was you got this at a college level, not at a university level.
Yeah, that's correct. CEGEPs
Okay.
are not universities, yeah.
Okay, so I believe, and I could be wrong here, but I believe we refer to those as diplomas, not degrees.
Oh, okay. So in the language of the collective agreement.
It's my understanding. I could be completely wrong, but it's something I will research.
Okay, but I mean, this is not something specific to what I was asking you. So what I was asking you is, out of the 3 post-secondary degrees, why was only that one shown on the letter of scale, the Bachelor of Arts?
Because I guess that's the only one they recognized at the time. I couldn't tell you. That's why I'm at. Where did you your Bachelor of Arts? Where's that from?
University of Ottawa.
Okay, and what was your third degree?
Graduate diploma. It's a master's level. It was at Vancouver Island University. So these are 600 courses, right? They're above the bachelor's level courses.
Okay, so and as part of your application, then you provided a transcript showing you have your master's from the VIU.
I provided a lot of details to Maggie before May 31st, and some of them show, like screenshots of grade point average, things like that, and diplomas in scanned formats. But my question is, with the scale, because you have the collective agreement there, probably both documents, how does it work, like with going one level at a time? For example, do you get 2 levels when you have, let's say, a bachelor's and another degree above that? How does it work?
Well, see what the language says.
I'm going to go to that ratification.
Well, it says if you go to the third paragraph under educational credentials, it says postgraduate certification, bachelor's plus the CGA, CMA, CA, master's degree, etc. Initial placement will start at the BFA 9. So that would be at the scale rating of a BFA 9. That's where you would start.
Okay, so, and what you're saying is they only count 1.
Yeah, because if you look at the staging here, if you look at the first paragraph of 2-year diploma, you would start their calculation based on the step 11, the lowest step, right?
Oh, that's one way to know maybe it's not counted. That's why I would have started at 11. Okay.
Yeah. So if they just looked at your diploma, you would start at an 11. If
And,
they looked at your bachelor's degree, you would start at the 10. And if they recognized and saw your master's, you should start at a 9.
okay, so they can recognize more than 1 degrees. Okay, so right now we've identified an issue with the collective agreement that I should have at the graduate level had an extra bump. Then we can go down to the category of teaching or provincial instructor diplomas.
Yep.
So I provided information that I'm a life skills coach. Now that's the term that was culturally acceptable, but it is also an instructor level diploma. Plus driving instructor with the province. I provided that information. And part of it was actually the Justice Institute of BC that wanted us to do the in-classroom, which was a week full-time, to be at the Justice Institute that I went to New Westminster. So that also qualifies as instructor. So I wasn't explained why none of these kind of would qualify. And again, we have to look at the definition of these words that are used, because
So that training would be more under experiential credits. I would think it would fall under there if it's related, because if we look back, 1 additional increment shall be granted on the initial placement to those who possess a teaching certificate or a provincial instructor's diploma. So if you don't have one of those, you don't get the extra step. And those don't come into play if you already start at the 9.
Okay, so you're saying that I was already at the 9 based on the
No,
group.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm relating the language of the collective agreement that if you have a teaching certificate or an instructor's provincial instructor's diploma, then you would get a credit for that unless you're already started, unless they already ranked you at the 9 level, right? So if they already said, yeah, you got a master's, you're starting at a 9, then there's not another lift for the teaching certificate.
Okay, I'm gonna look just at my letter again just to see how they moved that. Do you have that open? Did I sent you that in case you didn't have it, right?
You did, but just let me get back to your email because I went to
The
mine.
attachment is called CMTN BCGEU 4.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so 11 is because, and let's say they start with education as a way to do one criteria at a time, then 11 means that the college diploma might be seen as being nice, but it starts me there. Now I got down to 10 with my bachelor's, but my graduate one is not there. Now under professional certification designation, teaching certificate, provincial diploma, I did provide Maggie beforehand of that information, right? Of the life skills coach, which is extremely useful and actually is described as being very beneficial for teaching adults, and also the instructor, driving instructor um, um, certificates as well. So
I'm not sure how the driving instructor though relates to the work you were doing. Can you explain that piece
well,
to me?
that was a question I had for them because my Bachelor of Arts is majoritively psychology and philosophy. So, plus, if you look at the job description, it doesn't say they would only hire somebody with a degree in adult education. So we're getting into a lot of nobody has the same opinion. So, and I just want to go by what's decided and not argue that. But what's decided must be very precise.
Well, I think it's very important that you get paid correctly for work you do as well.
Yeah, and then Jeff, again, bringing you back to the topic of these 4 pay stubs have 3 different salary scales where one is not even mentioned what it is. Again, this is a good beginning of things that need to be grieved and explained.
So tell me which pay stub you want to look at, and walk me through where the differences are, just so that I don't have any
Well, we're
mistakes.
starting to work together here, and I appreciate it, and I'm going to give you a way to kind of verify quickly. But if you can open all 4, and I didn't mention 1, 2, 3, 4, I just mentioned their dates, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at all 4 of them, and you can look after, is the first pay stub is my salary was 39.385. The second pay stub, no information is given. I've calculated it at around maybe 42.50. And then the last 2 was at 46.948. Now the fact that I've been talking about this with them even before that letter was decided on May 31st, and even after requesting information and explanations from both Maggie and set downs at the BCGEU, is why do I see these differences and still nobody has these conversations with me? And again, I could assume what the thinking was, but I don't want to do that. Now the other thing, Jeff, is that if you look at all 4, there are 3 different choices of deductions. Like, for example, the first pay stub, my deductions are CPP, EI, federal, provincial, and BCGEU. Then the next one, the same. But the third one is missing federal tax and provincial tax. And if you look at the fourth one, it's only missing deductions of provincial tax. So that's some strange inconsistencies again there. Now, whether it's in my favor or not, that's a different conversation with how I filled out my tax forms, which, in my opinion, were not legally processed the right way. And then the third thing is, well, you can just tell me this. It might be accurate, but the union fee is different, $41.22. So it doesn't match my scale. Is that normal?
Yeah, because your union dues are based on a percentage of your gross pay, right? So you under the BCGEU Constitution, it's
Oh,
1.85% of your gross pay,
okay.
and then from that, there's specific incomes, or there's specific things on here that wouldn't be subject to the deduction, and then but the majority are subject to the
But what I
deduction of
see though
1.85%.
is the two, let's say 2 hours or the hourly wage of my time with BCGEU is you also add the 4% benefit and the 7% vacation.
Yeah.
Now,
Now remember that BCGEU was the union and not the employer. Okay.
yeah, oh, are you saying that it's on my pay stub, but it's the union that makes it go through the same deposit as the pay with the employer?
No, we don't. That's all the employer, right? The employer controls your pay. We administer your collective agreement.
But it's actually added on to my pay. So how do you
Your
explain?
your union dues, yeah, they're mandatory.
No, not the dues. The fee. I said I spent 2 hours working on this union grievance, and they put that in there under the salary of 41.22, which I guess now would be an average of these three different pay scales. But they put that on there.
Yeah. So what they've done there is that additional 2 hours, or how it seems to me, because of course I wasn't there, so I couldn't say for certain. They've calculated your base rate of pay and added 4% for benefits and added 7% for vacation pay.
And when you said at the beginning of this question is how that scale is determined different than my instructor scale, is you're saying they average it out. Can you be more specific? Because for me, if that's an average out, it would be an average of the first three
I
salary
don't think I
scales.
said anything was averaged out.
So,
Marty, I don't know what you're referring to there. Sorry.
okay, let's look at just pay stub 3. Okay, I'm going to open that with you.
What's the date on that one?
It is June 28th. By the way, I'm okay with you calling me Marty.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that in some emails you're Marty,
Yeah,
so I wasn't sure which.
yeah,
I
and it's
apologize. I should have asked.
yeah, and sometimes people don't ask, but I'm okay with it. So if you look at the number of hours, so 8.75 is instructor related hours, and then BCGU auxiliary instructor is 2 hours, because I did report this, that I've been interacting with Union Steward, right? To Colin Elliott and maybe Kelly Jean as well, right? So I see it as part of what the college put in my account. So, and yes, I think I remember in the past when I was with the BCGU that is a separate payment usually, right? You receive that separately than the college. And you see,
You're talking about the ads to pay, like the vacation payout and the benefit payout.
no, I'm talking about 2 hours.
Right, and it's saying that includes the 4% to benefits and the 7% vacation pay.
Oh, you know what that could be, and it could be my error. It could be that's actually traveling. Because I never got reimbursed for time I spent on BCGU grievance work so far. Like today was an hour and a half to just prepare for this appointment today. So this could just be transportation, because it's a 2-hour ferry. But then it has a different scale. So it's not updated. Maybe, is it an average of the last three pay scales? I don't know. So that would be the third.
That's a really good question. I don't have an answer for that, but I could certainly reach out to Maggie and find out why there's two different pay rates based there.
And again, when I ask, somehow I get banned from places. So yes, it's better that you ask. Maybe you won't get banned.
Yeah, I can see that happening with your style, Marty. I can see that happening. So
Well,
yeah,
my style is
I can
critical thinking and reality based for sure. Yeah. And again, Jeff, I mean, you might have experienced a little bit of both, cooperation with the Doctor of Humanics or, conflict mode with the Captain of Accountability. And these choices are as much yours in our interactions as they are mine, right? So I appreciate that you choose more the good bedside manner with me to review the facts, right? And again, it's not about money. It's about being oppressed by people that have less competency in their work than they claim I have in mine. And it was very upsetting when Kelly Jean said that Maggie had told her at one point, because I'm asking her to review this work, is why'd you hire this guy anyways? Now, can you imagine how I would feel knowing I'm already overqualified for this and to turn my life upside down for this contract? So yes, feelings from me exist as much as they do feelings in others.
And I totally respect feelings of everybody involved. At the same time, I respect mine. And again, I'll say my interactions with you, if you go back and you read any of the information I've sent you, nothing but respectful.
And for me, like the repeating, like for example, today with you, I said, please take the time to review this. Please try to ask information from them to give it to you. So for me, it's like, like Seth Down didn't even show up for a meeting that he was supposed to show up on meetings.
Oh, he was there. I believe you weren't there. I've seen the correspondence for that too. He and Colin were both
No,
there.
but the time the other dean said they're unavailable, something happened, whatever. Are you saying they were there in the shadows incognito?
No. You have to remember that Seth is the bargaining chair and a steward. He has a job and he has a life too. He's not always available to attend meetings. So if he's requested to attend a meeting on behalf of the BCGEU and he's not available, then it's up to you to find a different steward to attend in his place.
And for me, is I prefer to be my own steward because like I get less triggered, than having to repeat and having people give me a vibe. And you've had this vibe because everybody had this vibe. When somebody disturbs the status quo, no matter how well it's documented that the status quo is wrong, that person becomes unpopular. For example, to be, because I said this in a vlog you might have seen on my YouTube, is to be actually banned from a campus for good behaviors, for competence, which hurts my reputation. That becomes a new thing to add to the grievance with the BCGEU, because they didn't have a valid reason to do this other than this guy looks like a sheep like us, but he acts differently, so he's banned, which harms the reputation of a competent person. That's not okay. Of course there's feelings related to this. I'd like to be able to give my cat a steady home, but not when I keep being treated like this by the norm. And this, Jeff, by the way, is just one topic. But I'd like to stop it here, and then I can prepare a short email to say the next topic I'd bring up is this. Because you want to add it on one form, there's a lot of things to review. And you could say in that shortened form, I've reviewed pay stubs, scales, I've reviewed this as part of the grievance. Martin's provided his data, and he's got more that he could send at the request. And again, you will see, like I'm reviewing this stuff, and I see some of it is human rights, some of it should be to the RCMP, some of it is Jordan's principle. I can even include animal cruelty, because I was very clear, if you bring me there, don't sabotage this. This is a big shock to my cat. And then even the CRTC, because when media like W5 or Marketplace don't respond, and that's their job, it needs to be explained why they avoid this. And again, nobody wants to talk about the truth about our systemic issues. And what's weird is they're easy to fix. It's just nobody wants to make that little extra effort for the next generation. It's pretty sad.
So I can tell you that you raise a number of issues there. You raised the issue of the press not responding to you. That is way outside our scope. Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a BCGEU.
RCMP or criminal charges, outside my scope. Nothing I can do but say go talk to the police or go consult with a lawyer. Human rights can be in our scope and can be out of our scope.
Oh.
Both. And you have an opportunity with a human rights complaint to file your complaint directly with the Human Rights Tribunal. And that's outside of the collective agreement process. So that's something you hand on your own. We're not involved in any way, shape, or form.
Yes, I know all this. But do you know that it gets to the point where all these other categories become included because of the original bad choices of people at the college? So again, the college could have resolved this before it turns into these other things. But they don't. thanks for saying that there's a part of the collective agreement that may or may not relate to the human rights categories.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at that, and
But
I'll tell
Jeff,
you what article that might fall
when
under.
some of the things comes from the BCGEU that I would consider are human rights violations as well, then like for how hard it is for me to get your attention on just one part of my grievance while I am charged union fees, and while everybody sides with banning me from the campus, that falls under a serious form of oppression of human rights. So of course it involves the BCGEU. So of course I would go there for that complaint directly. I would go to the Human Rights Tribunal. But okay, so which part are you reading? Can I open that part up?
Yeah, I'm just digging for it here, so just bear with me.
Do you say that bear with me because of the facial hair? Bear stuff. My brother just had a bear destroy his beehives, that he's been working on for years. For the first time, it was a bear instead of disease from a couple of winters, but it was the bear. He caught him at night. He kind of scared him away. But
Whereabouts was that?
I wonder if the bear told him, "Hey, bear with me. I need my source of calories." This was in Quebec.
Okay, Article 1.2 in the collective agreement.
Okay, so
Find it probably on page 3.
So this is not the ratification one, the other one.
No, go to the ratification one actually, because there is a minor change. Now, the only change that's in here is that when we went to bargaining, one of the things that I wanted changed was the specific protected grounds. I wanted them to read exactly as they read under the BC Human Rights.
Please tell me the page again. You're saying they're not page numbers, but they're still the numbers of the sections. But which one?
Well, I'm on page 3. It's Article 1.2, and it will also be in the document, the ratification document.
Because there's page 2 has the picture of people, right? And then you're saying the one after that.
No, because I was looking at the actual collective agreement, so just bear with me a sec here, and I'll get that. Page 1 has the picture of the folks.
Oh, okay. For me, it's page 2. But I don't.
What do you get as page 1?
Well, I get just a logo, Coast Mountain College, and that blue wave,
Oh, okay.
And it says June 9, 2023. Are you in the back there? Facing camera straight on?
Oh, I've got a laptop facing this way towards me, but I've got a larger monitor over here.
No, I mean in the
I don't
picture.
see very well.
Are you in the picture? You're the guy with the beard facing straight on, right?
Yeah, in the flowery shirt, that's me.
Okay, so yeah, so for me, there's no pages, but you can tell me the numbers. I'll follow the numbers of the sections.
Yeah, and it isn't actually in here. So just go to the collective agreement itself.
Okay, I'm going to open that from your latest email.